All right, fire them up.
All right.
So good.
All right, let's start off here. Welcome again. So for SPY, let's look at some of the indices. So coming from last weekend, let's do an update here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where we were. I was looking for a little bit of upside and then further downside. We got that. And for SPY, from 2 weeks ago, guys, from 2 weeks ago, we were looking for this box to get hit. We got that. We got a bounce. And later on, we were looking for these targets for the upside. And you can see that on SPY. SPY, let's look at the weekly. So it's cleaner. So on SPY, we were looking for this to hold for a bullish continuation case. This is very interesting. I almost want to say we need to see another week holding up here. If I can see another candle up here that's not bearish looking for the weekly, I mean, this is pretty strong because the shadow, which is the wick below the body of this candle, it's much bigger than the upside part, the upper portion. And we are above the pivot point, so that's pretty good, and above the 10 simple. However, we did get rejected, which we were looking for during the week. Let me look at daily now. So on the daily, we had this play where we're looking for a touchdown to the 50 exponential and then a bounce to meet up to this range. So we were ranging. That's what we're saying. Then once we got this second bounce, we were kind of skeptical. We're saying, just wait until we start trading above the 10 simple, and then we can see further upside. Now, granted, if you trade the SPY ETF, the S&P 500 ETF, which is what this is, a SPY, you can see this, how the move on this ETF kind of reflects on what the move on the other stocks that we're going to look at happened. So it's kind of a brutal past week or two, and we felt close to the 89 exponential on the daily. And now this is very interesting on SPY, which once we get to NASDAQ, it kind of paints a different picture. So this looks like you can consider it a morning star or a hammer, I guess. And now looking at the moving averages, we fell down below the 50, closed, and then we pumped up to meet this cross. And what have we been saying about crosses? They're pretty powerful plays. So if the price meets up to the cross, it's bearish. But if it happens later on, it's not really useful. So let me give you a scenario. If I go back in time, just as an example. Nope, not meeting upper price. Not meeting upper. This is kind of meeting upper price. So we fell down. Although this was this was more brutal. It went down to 200, but you're meeting up to the cross, and then you fall down one more time. Here you're meeting up at the cross, you fall down one more time. Let me give you another one. This is below the cross. It's not really useful. This is just consolidating, more of distribution. Here you're meeting up at the cross, and then you fall down again. So I'm not too. I don't have a strong opinion what's going to come of this week. To be honest with you guys, we got our place last week. We got our place last week, so this is good. We got our bounces, we got our puts, our drop, our bear case as well. But this candle is a little confusing because now we're closing above the pivot, which is great for bullish continuation. However, I want to see the price close and trade above. So I want to see two closes on a daily basis above this cluster right here between the 21 and the 10 simple. That would give me confidence that the 10 simple is going to cross up back above the 21, giving me more of a momentum to go to the upside and meet these targets, which we can see correlating it to SPX, which is the actual index. It's looking okay. It's not too bad, but again, this cross is the only thing that is concerning me. However, you got to
Right.
look at the whole picture. So let's look at NASDAQ. This is bullish engulfing. You know, you're just engulfing the whole drop. This is potential accumulation. I mean, we fell down. What did we get our 10%? No, we got 7%. So get 24 hour. 24 hours bigger. All right, so we got 8% here. I think we're gonna look at what is that, NQ? Yes, this is the futures. All right, so futures. All right, so we fell 12%. So that's a healthy correction. So now we got to see a bit of a pop and see where we go. As long as we're above the 200, we're okay. This is basically where we're targeting. If we're looking at that, the NASDAQ, we're saying somewhere around this area where my cursor is right now, which correlates to, I don't have it here. I should add it. And Q. Let me just add it to the watch list. All right, yeah. So it's correlating to this support zone here. So we want to see this hold basically. And yeah, you kind of ticking up a little bit, so that's good. Now let's look at Dow Jones. Wow, these are pretty perfect. I mean, the only thing is these potential crosses, but you know, these are pointing down. I mean, sorry, up. Opposite. This is pointing up. So if this can trade above this candle and close above this candle, this will turn up. And that's when we get these let me see, these kind of moves, and they're very powerful. So let's see what happens here. But you want to stay above the pivot, same way as SPY and SPX. We need to stay above the zone. SPY, we need to stay above this pivot, stay above it, and we're good for 400. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful coin. So since last weekend, all right, so 2 weeks ago, we're looking for some downside. Last week, we found that we're getting some, yeah, we're getting some warning signs that this could be a potential top. So now we're aiming for the 50. I wanted to see a push down to the 21 exponential, which we got. Then we popped. That was a good play. And then I was saying that if we can maintain above the 21, then we can probably rise up, but I wouldn't trade it until we trade above the 10 simple. Because we closed below it, I think during the weekly, the morning quick updates, I stated that this is not looking too healthy. We're probably going to go below and try to aim for the 50 exponential. However, typically when this drops overall straight down below 21, it tends to spring up above the 10 simple. So this is why I don't like to play the second drop. I want to see a trade above it. So here we traded three candles above the 10 simple. And that's good. It's giving me a bit of continuation. However, as I stated during the daily updates, we're looking for a rejection around 52.7. And we got there pretty close. We got up to 52.652, up by $48, 47 and change. So that's pretty good. Now, if we can get this next daily to close here or higher, it would be good. That will make the 10 simple cross above the 21, and off we go. Looking at the oscillators, it's not looking strong, but it's not looking too bad. Right now, it's trying to get above all of this resistance cluster. But on Bitcoin, let's look at 12 hours. 12 hours crossing up, but you're meeting up with the median. No opinion again. I want to see this on Monday. Let's look at the futures. I mean, the futures is looking differently actually. think I got less to say this week than last week. I mean, you could be, if you're looking bearish, you're looking at this as a potential bear flag pointing down to here, which is coinciding with our 39,000 area, somewhere around here. That's good, but what's the flip side of that? If we close, oh man, this is tough. Because now we're closing above the 10 simple and the 21. Next week, if we open Monday above this area and we pump, we're probably gonna try to go to like, well, okay, so let me put it this way. If we can close on a 4-hour candle, let's say above 51,000, I think we can break this top, and we're probably aiming for the next resistance zone around 55,000. And then we'll reassess. But for now, let's take it day by day. This is no trade zone for me at this point until we break the 200. So let's keep an eye on that. Tesla. During the daily updates, I was looking for this formation here, which we got. We kind of exceeded it. I don't think this was. I don't think I was looking at the extension, the after hours. Whoops. Because I got more data here. All right, so that would have been more of the measure move. I forget when I did this. 25th. All right, so Wednesday or Thursday, we're saying we need another pop here. I think on the daily, yep, on the daily, you're suggesting that we're bouncing off the 81, so this is good. So we're gonna look for the 10 simple touch. Once we got this, we're kind of putting a bit of a bearish flag here, and this is why I had an arrow pointing down to this zone. However, I don't think I had the extended hours on, which would have helped because we seem to have met the measure move down to the support zone. So now that we have the targets, what can we expect? Let me clean this up for you. All right, so we got our top, we got the break of this box right here. We are going to touch the 200s probably, but I'd be looking for 50. Yeah, this is a good zone to buy. Not financial advice, just thinking out loud. This will be my warning box right here. So I want to see this point hold. So I've been shorting this way down, and on Friday I bought a few calls just to hedge right around 550 when it touched 550. This fell down to 539.49, and that's during regular hours. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So what can I say here? So we got this trend line right here. Let me take this out. So we got this trend line right here. This should hold. However, we kind of wake below it. That's not a death sentence in itself, but it's suggesting a bit of weakness. Some could see it as strength because we closed above it.
Right.
However, we need to consolidate here so we can create a bit of accumulation and then see some more upside. Kind of go sideways. People may think that it's a bear flag at this point, similar to how this played out up here. However, it's gonna end up looking like if it does do that, it's gonna end up looking more like a rising wedge, and then that's more of accumulation, and off we go. So maybe something like this if it's strong enough. Maybe not that straight down. Maybe more like this.
Come on, draw that line higher.
But I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time giving conviction here. Okay, so I need more data. So if I put my Fibonacci's on, I have a 50 landing around where the 200s is. So basically this box. However, it does seem more of a critical zone where the support line is at 569. So let's say this. S1, which is at 569.50. And just hang on 1 second. So this we need to hold. But this is a pretty brutal drop, man.
Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me.
But I do think that we are due for a bounce. So daily, let's look at the daily oscillators. Oof. Okay. We could be putting a bottom very soon. So next week I expect the bottom probably around 500, which we've been looking for a while now, right? So 500s, maybe wick into this box right here. You know, this would be ideal buy zone for me. Basically giving you a bit of a bear trap and then poof, off we go. But I'd be very cautious here. This is a risky play where if it drops and it spends too much time here, I don't really see how we can see more upside right away unless we keep going sideways and then pump up. But I just want to see it touch down, come up, close above the trend line, and then consolidate and up more. That would be pretty healthy. But for now, it's looking okay. Do we see any targets further than that? Let's look at the weekly. So get more of a bigger view here. What does this look like? So we got a 21 exponential down here where the box is that it got broken. Let me take this diagonal out for a minute just to clear it up. So it's a little better to look at. There we go. Work this out. Oh, this was nice. Someone got some nice shorts here. Shorts. Easy. All right, so so let me change this to Fib. Yep. Okay, so price went below the 21 exponential. Like we've been playing it before. I mean, you're probably looking for a 50 exponential in the weekly down, which coincides with the area that we were looking at before, and then see more upside. I mean, I want to see a conclusion of this move here where the 10 simple is pointing down, the 21 is pointing up. Price is too far away from it. You know, this is potentially what could happen. Not saying that history has to repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So take a look at this. You know, price went straight down to the 50 exponential and then slowly rose back up while the 10 simple caught up to a 21 exponential. And you know, where if you're weak, you don't want to get above on a closing basis the 10 simple with two or more candles. If you do, then you end up consolidating and off you go to an uptrend. You basically continue. So for you, this is the ideal case is that we get a small drop further and then slowly come back up to meet up to this cluster area. Otherwise, I can see this pumping up to the 21 exponential, potentially getting above it, giving us a 21 to the 10 simple play, but then it's going to give us more downside. Okay. So for now, just keep an eye on it, trade safe with it. And let me show you something that is probably going to hurt your eyes. So we got a break of that formation. And as I've been showing you guys on oscillators, formations and trend line and diagonals tend to play much better than price action for some reason. I still can't explain it, but we have broken this. Typically when you break it, you got to retest. I can show you another one here. You got to retest and then further downside. Same with this. Just showing you some examples. Consolidation, you basically squeeze your volatility and then you get a conviction break, then a retest and further downside. It's kind of looking like that. So this was kind of showing you divergence, big time divergence, 1, 2, 3 drives to the downside, and that's your potential top. We got the conviction there. So maybe a little pop, but this is looking bearish. I want to see this stay above this median area, and then we'll talk. But this is on a weekly basis, so there are some plays and opportunities on lower time frames, but stick to higher time frames if you are swing play. Is that your stomach? Anyway, Facebook. Facebook still consolidating. Let's look at some oscillators here. That's a weekly, monthly, and yeah, just going sideways. I mean, this looks good. I could be potentially wrong to go to the downside, but this is healthy. If it does come down to a 10 simple, that would be good in my view. But if that's not the right formation, I'm still looking for this. Let's look at the potential green. Yep, that'll be a bullish for me. I think triangle formation. Let's go back to the daily. All right, so until we break either up or down of these boundaries, it's just a watch for me. Following up on Apple, we said we need to stay above this pivot on the daily with daily closes in order to remain to the upside. So we came down to a trend line that we pointed out throughout the week, actually last week, and we said we're going to see a bounce into the week. We got that, got rejected the pivot, came down, got our higher low, and then we broke it on a closing basis, but we were unable to stay above the pivot on the daily, so now we're dropping. However, we are putting in another candle. This looks like a bullish candle, right? It's kind of like a hammer, morning star. But I mean, this is debatable. Do you look at, no, actually it's not debatable. So do you look at the wicks or do you look at the bodies? I personally will look at the bodies as far as putting a divergence or putting a lower high or a lower low. Right here, you see even if you did do the wicks, you do have a lower low based on the previous wick here, but the bodies, you definitely have a lower low. So we still don't have an uptrend. You still have lower highs and lower lows put into place. You could potentially pop up into meeting the 10 simple, but because we previously tried to go to 21 exponential, I expect this 10 simple to get touched and then rejection. And then the next stop is probably going to be around where this algo target is. Let me just double check where the where these fibs are coming from. Yeah, I went to 382. Like I pointed out throughout the week, that's kind of bearish. So yeah, there's nothing else to say to that. Probably coming down to 10 exponential if we break this zone. Keep an eye on that. AMD, rapid fire. Daily needs to stay above 82 to see more upside. Below $82, we're going to see 73 to 77, then pop to 82, and then we'll revisit. That's from last time. So what happened here? We stayed above 82, and we saw more upside, but unable to stay above the $82 level. You okay over there?
Yeah.
Unable to stay around $82, we're going to see it to 77 and 73. So what do we got? Oh, look at that. Close. We got to 74.20. I think I think the target's met. I don't know if we're close below that. Yeah, I want to see a little bit of upside. If you're bullish, you want to see this 200 hold, but it's good though. The candle is giving me a little bit of hope. However, I do want to see this 82.39 on a close to get above, because failure to stay above 82.39, we're going to see much lower targets to like 66, 69, something like that. You know, a really good number, 69. Now moving on to cool.
I got another stock for you to add to the watch list. I feel like some of them we can drop off, some of the kind of lower end stocks. The big names are good, but apparently there's a new Reddit stock. Maybe we could look at the end.
Sounds good. Let's look at this weekly. Interesting. So it's just going sideways. So weekly has a negative strength. Wow, all these stocks are very interesting. So it has a negative strength, but the active is above the base with pretty big expansion. However, the fastest closing below the median and the bull zone. Not necessarily a good thing. So in the longer term, we're probably going to start trending down if we can't close above the previous highs. Looking at the oscillators, we closed above the bear zone. Wow. All right, so weekly crossing down, daily crossing up, kind of going sideways. Okay, so we're just consolidating. That's probably it. So what do we have as notes from last time? So daily, if 21 holds, watch for 10s to break. Otherwise, break down to 50 exponential and R2 to close gap, which is around here. So what happened? 21 held. That's this orange line right here. Let me zoom in. So 21 held, and we broke the 10 simple. That's exactly what we got on Friday. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So what can we say about this? Let me put this here. So I'm basically going to put this like pinkish color for daily updates, and I'm going to do, I guess, whatever that blue was, this one for weekly. Nah, you know what? I'll do white.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
Easier to read, right? Okay, so we need to get above 21.12 to 21.18. For trend continuation. Otherwise, 1898. No, 1882 to 1898 is in the cards, which is somewhere around this area right here. That's the weekly. Weekly one says, daily saying no, I'm consolidating. F you, man. All right, NVIDIA. Oh, got even lower. Wow. That was nasty.
Mm. No bueno.
All right, I think we're gonna bounce into next week. You could potentially see a drop into high mid 400s. All right, so now these obviously are not useful anymore. Sorry, while I update this. Okay. So this is not useful anymore. So what we're looking for during the week, below 543 was bad. I wrote bad. First take profit area was 530. Well, we got that. It needs to hold 513. It didn't. It closed at 498.46 with a low of 467.17. All right, if the 200 can hold, I am probably going to look for 525, something like that. So basically come up to test the 10 simple here. If you fail to do that, I mean, I wanted to do that and create a higher low. That's your bullish case, right?
Okay.
But you need to get up above this whole cluster. So let me put this as your resistance zone in red. So you need to get above that. So basically rejection right at the first shot, and then you're going to try to find a higher low in the next support zone, which will meet up at the 200 exponential on the daily, and then that'll give us some fuel to break this whole resistance area. Now, the bearish case would be from here straight down to here. I'll put that as red. So two scenarios there. Just keep an eye on that. Wow. Okay. So failure to regain this, bad. We even gap down massively. Excuse me a sec. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Didn't want to hurt your ears.
Thank you.
So we couldn't regain this area. In fact, we broke straight through it. You can see this massive, you can see this massive gap here.
Yeah.
Wow. Straight through the 200 exponential, straight through the pivot, straight through the box of hope and prosperity. Even below the 377, holy Jesus. We need to see the 377 hold on a daily. So as I was saying on Friday or Thursday, I forget. I want to see this hold before I even consider any trades. It's looking pretty nasty. However, look at the oscillators. We have divergence. Our strength, our active is well above the base at a 52 read, and we are closing above the slow. So we could have it bounce play at least to test the bear zone and see if we can get some traction there. So I think next week is going to be interesting. So even if we start off with a negative pricing here, I want to see this level hold. And I'm not talking about the 377 anymore. So I want to see, put that in white. Old previous low. aim for the red box. Oscillators are looking good. I might actually take a call on this on Monday. Not financial advice, but if I can, we'll see what happens. See, is matching up with this area right here. We would be crossing the 10 exponential if we can get above the 377, and that'll give us a target to the 21 exponential. So if you look at the NVIDIA, not NVIDIA, which one was it? Was it Apple? Yeah, Apple. Perfect. So we close above the support, then we're creating higher lows. We break on the next open, the 10 exponential, we're aiming for the 21 and then down. This was nice because it was meeting with the 50 exponential crossing too. Where were we? Oh, Walmart, right. So if we can, on the next open, we can open, we're probably going to get rejected a little bit, and then we need to find support in the support on the S1 right here, 129. We can close above there. We have a pretty good shot to aim for the 21 exponential. So basically the red box.
Okay.
But there's a lot of resistance at the end of this arrow. So actually, yeah, I'll do that. So 2 targets, red arrow, white arrow, take it poison. BYND. Ugh. Sorry. I'm trying to stay impartial, but
Yes.
I think next week we're gonna get a lot of bounces, so there's gonna be some opportunities here. And even if stuff is bearish, when it bounces, you're gonna get a higher response than a bull market, just for the bounce. But again, that's in a downtrend, it's meant to be sold into, so bear that in mind. Below the 154.75 on the daily, I was looking for a take profit of 122, 124. We got down to again, I'm off by like $1. We got down to 125. Actually, let me see on the pre-market. Nah, we got down to 125.87. I think the target's met. Sorry, but you should take your profits around the S2 here anyway. Close enough. Close enough. So this is coming down from this rejection of the red box. So whoever took this short, congratulations. You made some money. Some your money. GME, I'll still keep the BYND. Seems pretty good. What is this? All right, as long as we're below the pivot, not interested. Still below the pivot, I'm not interested. This is almost looking like a bit of a flag here. Kinda, sort of, maybe, kinda, don't care, honestly. GME. All right, let's give it a small look. Nice. Okay. Get a bit of strength building up. That's interesting. What can we say here?
We got Twin Towers there. You know what happened to those?
What's
so
up?
we got Twin Towers there. Next.
Yeah. That's probably gonna reject into next week. But again, we're closing below the pivot. So I'm gonna keep this here just because I need to see a close below the pivot, below these tops, in order to give me a bit more conviction of further downside. But right now it's looking nasty, but okay nasty.
It's always good.
AMC, nasty. Mac nasty. Jeez. Like the weekly oscillator. I'm kind of curious what this is. Like it's just straight up.
They're intermingling.
Yeah, it's very strange. But the daily, you got to cross down. Just looking at this, I can tell it's cross down. So, yep, there you go. All right, let's look at. So last week we're looking at this potential flag with the breakdown. Further downside, right at the 377, which seems reasonable. It's above this prior resistance, not support. Makes sense. Not really interested in this. This is basically what I was looking for in GME, where we trade above the pivot, but we close below it, and that's kind of like the nail in the coffin for me. Can I take this out? Are you still?
Yeah, check it out.
All
No,
right.
no.
Clear out your watch list here. BlackBerry.
Check it out.
Well, no. Okay, hang on.
I don't even think people use Blackberries anymore.
Hang on. BlackBerry. When did we look at this thing? Right around here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We met our target. Yay. Congratulations, boys and girls. Met our target. Yep. Right to the wick. All right. I'm happy with this one. So I'm taking it off.
Good.
BAB, Alibaba. We got a higher low. We did not close above this. Oh my goodness. Get above the pivot to remain to the upside. Did not do that at all. All right, so this is a bad one. This is the one that we didn't get. We were looking for a potential pop from the 377 into the 10 simple. We did not get that here. We broke below. That would have stopped me out. You know, just being fair and being transparent. I have been saying this past week that I'm not looking to take long-term plays. I am mostly watching the market. I took a few calls and I've been holding shorts, but I mean, I want to see basically this, where you see accumulation with higher lows. Even if you don't get higher highs, that's okay, as long as the oscillators are pointing you to the upside, which this was increasing strength. This is starting to slope up a little bit, so giving you a little bit of divergence, but I still want to see. Basically, want to see this hold. All right, so let's look at this. Let's see. S2 must hold, and aiming for 240. We're looking at 240. So I'd be looking for a 21. So aim for 21 exponential. Okay, is that clear? Hold that, and we're Gucci. Sorry, try not to say that. AP Morgan. Chase Bank. This is the one that only goes up, right? This one almost faked me up during the week. I said, you know, it's made a slightly higher high on a wick, but I'm still looking for further downside. I think I'm gonna have to stick to that.
Okay.
And I'm probably gonna shoot myself in the foot because this is painting. I mean, there's a lot of wicks, but okay, so I feel better. There's a negative tick. Okay, good. I was saying that I was gonna say that this is ticking up, but we have a negative strength, so it's a fake out. Okay. So I think on a daily, we're still gonna look down to somewhere around the zone. Ideally to stay bullish for me. Personally, I'm looking at this zone, basically around the pivot. I want to stay above this pivot to remain to an uptrend. Otherwise, this red zone comes into play, then a little bounce, and I think the pivot's probably going to reject it if we do end up hitting that red box. SOS, what is this garbage?
Look at that gap. Oh my God, 2 gaps. One on the way up and one on the way down.
Yeah, this one, well, this gap up is closed with this gap down. Well, it
Yeah.
traded here, and then this gap down is closed with this wick, basically. So we're all good. Stay above 4.8 on the weekly close. Bulls have some hopium. Right now you have 650. Wow. I am impressed. Nuts. Right.
Take it off.
See, now whoever is trading this, I do have one thing to say. Looking at this here. What you're doing is you're squeezing your volatility. So you are going to get a very big move on a high time frame, like a very big move. So if you are bullish, don't fall asleep on this because you might get your butt hurt. But you could also be right. It's just this move. It's just not. It's not to say normal, but it's not healthy, in my opinion. Not financial advice. But I guess you're on the weekly. If you can stay above this, let's just say to be safe, if you stay above the 21 exponential, you are okay. Technically, you're okay. I want to see this trading above the pivot for me to have some conviction of trying to get somewhere around here, which to be fair is more than twice its value at that point. So there is something to this, but I don't like it. If there is someone, a viewer that actually does want to see SOS on these charts, then I'll put it back on. But for now, if that's you, put it in the comments. Otherwise, I'm taking it out.
Take it
just
out.
a waste. Daily UUU, we broke down the formation that we were pointing out during the week. A lot of charts are putting this sort of hammer looking candle, whether it's green or red. However, and this is going to hurt your eyes again. I mean, this candle is pretty nasty. Unlike, what was it? Was it NASDAQ or was it SPY? I forget which one. The shadow is bigger on the upside. So that's not good. And what do we got here? So we're pointing out divergence, and I was looking for further downside. We got that, even though this was trading above it, and that's why I was drawing this formation. I'm still looking for this green box to get hit. So close to this wick, but I'm still looking for that green box. Very close. Very, very close. So we got the 21 to the 10 simple down, not trading it until I get 2 candles above. This right here is not enough for me. I would have waited for a 10 simple hold, which means I need to get a retest of the 10 simple. That did not hold with this candle when it closed below the 10 simple. So on the next candle, I'm looking for the 21 to break. Now these two are converging. What the bulls want to see is sort of this follow through, which basically negates the cross. Keep an eye on that. It's not necessarily dead, but I'm still calling this as a top, even though I don't want to call tops. API, was this you? I forget.
API.
Was that me?
I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Agora Incorporated.
Take it off.
Whoa, easy.
Get it out of here.
It's breaking down. So, oh, interesting. Okay, so this is what we're looking for during the week. And it looks like our target was met. Wow. Good job. Good job, guys.
Thanks.
Good
Thanks.
job.
Good job.
Your technical analysis works. Right at the yellow box, followed by a cross, followed by some downside. Looking pretty weak. Excuse me. I'd be looking for like $33 as long as we remain below this zone right here, basically. I'm gonna take this off, but I just want to point this out. So as long as we remain below here, I'm taking this stock off.
Wow.
The stockings. Looking
Stockings.
for probably the next target, the S2 right here. So I'm not interested. UAL. All right, so we hit our target.
Mhm.
Congrats. Yay. Pat yourself in the back. And what is it? We got negative strength. And whoever's listening, you know, I'm sorry, but it's like 2 in the morning right now. So we're a little delirious, so pardon us. So we hit the targets on the top. That's where we drew our formation. And coming in from last week, I think so. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. So somewhere around here, we're looking for this as a potential top. So the R1, as long as it was acting as resistance, we're looking for some downside into the 50 exponential, which matches with the weekly 10 at the time, which now is a little bit lower. So now we're trying to aim for the right at the, yeah, okay, so this was aiming for the 50 exponential at the time. So we got the push down, it was pretty good. So we got the red box, so whoever has the shorts, very good. This is probably going to pump into the beginning of the week, but we might see continuation to the downside. This is about to tick to the downside, so let's see what happens on the weekly close. But on the daily, you are taking negative now. What does that mean?
Mhm.
Did we close below? Yeah, we closed below 377. Okay, so interesting. I don't think the 10 simple is gonna get broken yet. This is pretty heavy resistance. I'm gonna leave this up because United Airlines is pretty somewhat important. This is going to be my red box. This should have been my green box. All right, so that's it. That's all I got. So we're trading sideways until this is broken, and I need to see a daily close below the pivot for us to give us some conviction of further downside to meet up with this formation bottom. Pretty good. Yep, pretty good. Overall, though, since this is the weekly recap, let's look at higher time frames. Wow, that is a massive drop.
Yeah, it is.
From 93 to $18 in a matter of 3 months.
Base
Ouch.
drop.
Ouch. It's face melting drop.
Ooh. Wop, wop, wop.
So what is this? So we got to, oh, okay. So this is why we were looking at this zone, because it was matching up with the 50 retracement, the 0.5 fib with the resistance line with the top of the formation. Yeah, this is pretty strong. Bulls wants to see this pivot hold for more upside. Otherwise, we're going down to the bottom of the range on this formation and then probably going to drop a little lower. But it's looking okay because we want to see a higher low, but this isn't the monthly, so it's going to take a few months. So the daily for now, down, daily down. Doku. Yeah, okay, so our targets met. We were looking for the 200 exponential all throughout the week. However, I think it's time to bounce. Yep. We've been dropping pretty heavily. So as I've been saying before, the two things you want to see is price correct through time or through price. So this drop happened in a short amount of time. So now we're probably going to do this. This is all choppy though. So I don't know if you want to trade this. That's really up to you. Not financial advice, obviously. I don't know why I keep doing that. Sorry. Okay. But ultimately, let's see. Can we do a projection here? Maybe. Okay. It's hard to say though. Bouncing up the 786. So it's either here or at the 377. I like the 377, how it meets up with the 377 EMA. I'm just gonna put these two zones. And I'm gonna take this out, just to make it clear. Sorry, my mouse is like being spastic right now. Weekly. I do like this area around 174 all the way down to 168. So because we already hit this, I'm just gonna take that out. I'm gonna say potentially down to 377. And this is going to be over time. But for now, I want to see it bounce into the 10 simple at least. All right. And let's see what happens. Ideally, you want to bounce above this S3, no, S2, the 205, and then get hit by the 10 simple, come down, retest the 200 exponential, and then up we go to test the 21 exponential. That would be ideal, but we'll take a look. This is the Bitcoin liquid index, still trading sideways. No comment there. BA. So this is similar to United Airlines, where we're trading in these this formation here. Daily down, probably to 200. PLTR. I think this is one of mine. Wow. All right. Very nice. Target hit. So ultimately, we were looking for this green box, which seems to have held. But we did get it wrong in the sense that we were looking for some upside after hitting this, and this is probably a little too much. Was it? I have to go back into the video. I don't recall because I think I forgot to put notes. Really should. But I think I'd be looking for something like this potentially. Yeah, we're crossing up, testing the bear zone. This is the daily. I mean, this is not looking good. I'll say that much. But this box, since we broke below, I think we're gonna have to move it down a little bit to match up with around here. Let me look at the volume. Volume range. So on the way down, on the way up. Okay, on the way down. Okay. All right. So it looks like our box is actually here now. Something like this. This is kind of what I'm going to see is a pop up here, and then people are probably going to look at this as a head and shoulders. We'll see what happens. But again, below the pivot, not good. But this POV, which is point of control, POC, sorry, point of control, is where the max volume is. So this node right here is pretty significant, matches up with the 50 exponential and the 21 exponential. If we bounce and get above the 10 simple, that's where I'd be looking for. RTX, that's Raytheon. We're looking for further downside. Failure to regain 73, 76. We were looking for some downside throughout the week. It looks like we bounced off of it, and we bounced all the way to 76. But we did not regain it. We were trading below that area, basically the below the R1. If I say basically again, I'm gonna have to take a shot. We're at 75 right now, so keep looking at that. Netflix bouncing off the 200 exponential. not much to say. I think we are going to probably retest this pivot here, right below the pivot actually. So that's a nice hammer, so that's good. So I'm looking for that, a little bit of upside, and then we'll see. TLT. What do you think?
It's definitely gonna keep going down now. What is this? Treasury bond?
Oh yeah, it's not a stock. It's a 20-year Treasury Bond ETF. Yeah, probably
Nice.
look at that.
Not looking too healthy.
There's something I want to point out. DXY. DXY is the US dollar currency index.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the discords that I'm in, I've been pointing out this is potentially a pivot point. Why? Because on the monthly, we were crossing up. Boom, strength.
Nice.
Active base, everything was beautiful here, at least for a test of the bear zone, and then we'll see if it's further. Why is this significant? So whenever there's fear in the markets, or that coincides with the market moving to the downside overall, people tend to go and sell their assets, right? So where they go to? They go into cash. And you see the correlation with the cash increasing in value, the currency index, during those crashes. So this would be your March of 2018, straight up, and then down. So last year, when was COVID? April, right here. Where'd the money go? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But in any case, so typically when there's fear in the market, people tend to go into cash. So this affects Bitcoin, affects the majority of stocks because you're trading against it, right? So it's BTC USD, it's Bitcoin versus dollar. So because the value of Bitcoin is higher than the value of the dollar, that means that Bitcoin's trading at like 50 grand. So if this is going up, does that mean we're going to get a pivot like this back in 2018 when Bitcoin went into a bear market? I don't know, but it's important to look at though. But nevertheless, the monthly is trading up, weekly right off divergence, perfect. That gave you the pivot right there, beautiful. Strength, sloping up here, slightly ticking down, but this is not over. You're above the 21 exponential, so that's okay. So I'd be looking for this to get above around this area, but we want to see what happens. Do you have any take on these?
No, this is new for me, so I don't know. I mean, it is interesting how it reflects COVID, but
Let me just point.
we shall see. I mean, this whole fear of inflation is probably going to affect it too. I don't know.
But this should be yeah, it should be interesting. So above 90.8, something like that, somewhere around here. Above this area, I'd be looking for more upside, potentially around 95 and change, but we'll see what happens. You know, this is a bit of an interesting zone here. Do we have any? Sorry, now it's just like a TA nerd time. All right, so we're coming up to 236. Yeah, somewhere right here is all right. Not much significance with that. not yet. Now, I do want to point the bands were squeezing on this move up while the price action is breaking above the bands. So this is implying a move similar to here, where the band squeeze and then you're pointing up. So just keep in mind, you know, that there is potential that this is a pivot for the next few weeks. Does that mean you're gonna get a crash? Who knows? Does that mean you're gonna get retracements? Who knows? But there's a lot of factors to this and moving parts. And just again, think that this is the strength of the dollar index, basically. So it could affect potentially other assets that are trading against it, like Bitcoin, etc. So with that said, guys, this is your weekly update. If you guys have any tickers or anything you want us to take a look and add to our watch list, please drop a comment below, and we'll see you next week. And watch for our
Wait. Hold on. Check RKT.
Which one?
I know it's 2:30 in the morning. I want to go to sleep. Let's check RKT real quick.
RKT, wrecked?
Yeah.
Oh, rocket. Let's see.
Boom. What the hell?
What is this? Oh, right.
It's another Reddit.
These are the Reddit stocks. Okay. Oh my goodness.
That was 4 days ago.
It came out an IPO in August. I mean, to be fair, this gave you the buy-in right there. Oh my goodness. Why didn't you tell me this weeks ago?
This is that huge.
What about right here?
I mean,
and probably gotten stopped out here, but this is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is IPO.
Well, it's also Reddit. That's what that huge spike is that was a few days ago.
That's pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. All right. All right, I'll take a challenge. Hourly. This is stupid. Crossing down, price meeting up, bearish, but you could get a bounce. Price is far away from the cross, to be fair. This is turning up. You are testing the bear zone for the first time. Trying to get out of it, rather. Let's see. It's very weak. All right, I'll leave it here for a week, just for you.
Yeah, let's check it again.
To get above 26.47 for some hope to $32. I mean, I'm not pulling this out of my butt. And $32.
You're not pulling a rocket out of your butt.
Easy. So R4 is 29.23. So I'm giving you a round number of a wick above to 32 something, which will give us a resistance around that zone right here. So basically where the top of the 10 simple is. That curvature, basically. But I would not be surprised to get stopped out around 30.75, something like that, right below this wick point.
Yeah.
So anything around here would be fair game. But this needs to stay above 26.48, 26, something like that. So needs to get above this for some hope. So I'm gonna put the arrow above this zone to get there. And does that line up with any tips? This is just ridiculous. To here, I don't know. All right, let's use the body.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's all a big joke.
Right to 382. All right. Maybe. But I don't like it. What's the other one?
ZOM.
ZOM?
This one looks potentially promising.
Zomedica?
Yeah, I want to see what happens Monday morning.
Is this like Russian or something? Oh wow. That's was that you or was that the FBI tapping in? Let's see.
My headset died, so
Oh, okay. That was an interesting sound. Okay, what do we got here? So 4 hour looks up, so probably gonna get an open green, but you're probably gonna get rejected the pivot here. You're crossing down, so you got your shorts around here on the close below the 10 simple. Beautiful, nice rejection. 21 exponential to the 10 simple plate complete down to the 50 exponential right above here. So it's kind of like what Bitcoin I wanted to look at, where you fell down. Well, this got a little too far, but it falls down. It got front ran below here. I mean above here, and then it goes above the 10 simple. This kind of slowly crosses down. Excuse me. Comes together with the 21 exponential, but the price eventually falls down further into the actual target by the 50 exponential on this zone here, which is good support. Do I have a comment as far as a play? Sure. Why not? Let's entertain this. Stay above 148. Where can we go? Where can it go? See, that's the thing with these stocks is that you don't have that much room as far as gain. Yeah, there's a big percentage. You're going from 148 to let's say $2. Yeah, you have 50-cent move. That's like 30%, right? Something like that. A third of the value rising up. But it's a lot of risk to the downside because if 148 doesn't hold, you're probably going to hit 111. So you're losing just as much as you were gained. So that's 1-to-1. Do you play, a risk to reward that way? No. You want to see less risk for higher reward, right? All right.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you dropped that again.
It's heavy on mute, so there's not a lot of echo.
Gotcha. Okay. So if we can say 148, I'm probably going to look for $2. Stay above 148. Hopes for 2. Wait, what's this on top? 2. Oh, the pivot is 190, but then we'll stay above. Hey, I'll just do 192. $2. Otherwise, $1.11, let's say. And any others?
Nope.
Okay, so now closing. It's almost 3 a.m. here. This is just for you guys, TA nerds. If you stayed this far into the video, congratulations. You have a lot more knowledge. But seriously, if you have any other tickers or anything you want us to take a look, any topics you want to learn more on, that if we don't know, we will learn for you and bring you the education as well. Let us know in the comments below. And we'll see you guys next week for next weekly recap. And check us out during the week for quick morning updates. Take care. Have a good rest of your weekend. Trade safe if you're trading crypto. And we'll see you next time.